Hello there. Good morning, every single person that's joining me on this edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Good morning. Thank you, every single person, for joining me right on time live. And for those of you that will join thereafter, watch it later, thank you so much for the share of your time. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Thank you for keeping faith with me this whole year. Wow, 2020 is rounding off. And today I have a special guest in the house today. And I'm sure it will add value to you. So I need you to do two things: sit tight, take a piece of paper and a biro, or open up the memo pad of your phone and get ready to take notes, because you're going to get true nuggets. And you know the beautiful thing, you can come back to watch it again and again, and you can share it with your friends. And of course, I'm looking forward to your comments. So my guest today has been a friend for about or over 20 years actually. He's an accountant, as a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, as a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, as a fellow of the Institute of Directors as well. He is a partner, tax, regulatory and people services in KPMG. He has over 30 years work experience advising multinationals and national clients on Nigerian taxes. He serves as the engagement partner on most of KPMG's oil and gas clients. He has published various articles on topical issues, including personal finance, and he has one on money matters that you need to read. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody on this call and those that will join me later, help me to welcome to Knox to Nuggets platform no other than Mr. Wale Ajayi. Ooh. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be on this show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. You know, while I was thinking about this, and as initially, honestly, as the year was wrapping up, I was like, wow, 2020 is going, so 2021. And I actually thought of having you on 2021. But as I thought about the year and I began to hear comments from people, 2020, just come and go. Wow, 2020 has been such a awesome year. Some people tell you 2020 is only 5 months: January, February, pandemic, NSAS, and December. I've had different things, and I said to myself, let's talk about how to make 2021 a year of impact. How do we make 2021 our best year yet? The truth is this, Wale, and I know you agree with me. 2020, yes, it's been challenging, but it's been for some people their best year. They've made their best money. They've made the best connections in this year. So for some people, can 2020 come again? But for majority, it's been 2020. I need you to go. I need you to sweep. But how do we make 2021 an impactful year? How do we make 2021 that year that will bring desired result, that productive year? I need to hear from you, Wale. What are your thoughts? How do you make 2021 that best year yet?
Thank you so much for that question. That is really a great question. I think the very first thing I would say is that I must first admit that 2020 has been a year of contradictions. I mean, we came into 2020 with great hope, with great expectations.
Yeah.
But of course, came calling. And people have been frustrated. All the plans that people had for 2020, they couldn't accomplish those plans. People were frustrated. People were fretting over things they couldn't do. But what I always say to people is that when you look at 2020, like you've said, it's been a year of innovation. It's been a year of creativity.
Yeah.
This is the year where a lot of people, have brought in, their creative juice, into the party. I mean, you've seen things that you never have dreamt about before. And it's very simple. When you push to the wall, you just have to fight back. And a lot of people have fought back. And that is why they made success of 2020.
Wow,
and the other thing I will say before I talk about 2021 is that, there's still about 10 days left in the year. So you can still dream. And your dream can still be given wings to. Right? There's no point in saying, well, 2020 is about to go, just 10 days to go, and I'm not going to start dreaming again. Remember that it's only when you dream, right, that you can even finish what you've started. Okay,
Mm.
so what I would say to people is that you still have hope, because once you stop dreaming about the possibilities that you have, don't fret about what you have lost or what you have gained. Focus on what is still possible for you to do. Because when you stop dreaming, one will be like a bird, whose wing is broken, right? And you cannot fly. And so what they're basically doing is they are just existing. They're not living.
Mm.
So I would expect people to still, nurse their dreams and nourish their dreams. Now, how do you prepare for 2021? I think it starts with an attitude. And the same attitude that you did 2020 shape what will happen to you in 2021, right? I think the very first thing I would say to people is first do an assessment of where you are. I mean, you'll set a dream for yourself in 2020. So where are you? Because you must know where you are, to know where you're going. So you can imagine if somebody calls me and say, Wale, I want to get to Yaba, and he needs direction. The very first question I'm going to ask is, where are you? Okay, because there's no way I can give him direction if I don't know where he is. So you need to do an assessment of where you are and ask yourself, how have you fared in 2020? That is very important. And then the next thing that is also very important for us to do, because we're talking about preparing, for success in 2021, is what does success mean to you? How do you define success? What is success to me will be different from what is success to you. It's something that is unique to each and every one of us. So you must define success, because that is what tells you where you are going. And if you
Mm.
don't know where you're going, then that means any road, like they say, will lead you there, right? So it should be like Alice in Wonderland. So we need to have a clear understanding of what it means for us to be successful. And that really would help us to prepare for that. And if I can also add, I think a lot of people need to stop focusing on their setbacks, on the challenges they face. When you
Mm.
focus on something, you just expand it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just give it wings that you don't need to give it to, right? So people need to stop focusing on challenges, but people need to focus on the opportunities that are in challenges. I mean, like I said, 2020 has been a year of innovation. Who could have thought that a hotel, look at the way they became creative when they couldn't get customers to come in and lodge in the hotel. They started laundry business. They started delivering food. A lot of people, were also innovative. There were things that people wouldn't have dreamt about, right?
True.
That started dreaming about. People that are doing logistics. So 2020, it's literally been a year of innovation. So let's start focusing on the opportunities and not on the challenges. One of the things, let me just say this. One thing I say to people is that yes, we don't like challenges, but the fact of the
Mm.
matter is that challenges make life very interesting, right? And then just imagine if you're able to overcome those challenges, it makes life even more memorable. So what I would say is that let's do an assessment of where you are. Let's define what success is, and then let's start focusing on the challenges and start focusing on the opportunities that we can see. I mean, there are so many other things we can do, but let me stop there for now.
Wow. You have said so much in such a short time. And I hear everybody on the call what you are emphasizing. But one thing you said at the beginning, which caught my attention, was when 2020 came with the pandemic and people were practically pushed to the wall. Some people got up and fought back, and their creative juices began to flow. No wonder they were able to make a success of this year. So, a key learning for me and to everybody on this call and those that will watch thereafter, as we enter 2021, let your challenges make you fight back. Let them make you release the creative juices in you.
That's
The
correct.
truth of the matter is this: whether the cup is half full or half empty is your perception. And
That's right.
perception is everything. Like you said, attitude, attitude. Let's not go into 2021 with an attitude of another year has come. It's just a flip of the coin. It's just another day. How you face it matters. But Wale, let me come back to you. You've said a whole lot. Don't focus on your setback. Focus on what you want, because whatever you focus on grows. Now, let's come to one area I know is your strength. Money matters. How do you handle money in 2021?
Yeah, I think what I've seen with a lot of people is that a lot of people don't have financial knowledge. and they need to really invest in financial knowledge. It's very easy to understand, right? I mean, we all know that when we're kids growing up, our parents, try to cultivate, saving habits in us. They give
Yeah.
us this
The follow.
piggy bank, colo, where you have to put in every change that you get, from probably running errands. And it's always very interesting to see how that money, grows. Every
Grows.
time, I remember in those days, anytime I put in a coin, I will go there and be shaking the piggy bank. After a while, the piggy bank will become full, and then you will hear the sound again. So people need to invest in themselves. They need to invest in financial literacy. It's very easy, to understand what are the rules that govern money. And it's very simple. The rules that govern money are extremely straightforward. If you save, what you save is what will save you. It's as simple as that, right?
Mm.
So what I've found out is that a lot of people are always looking for excuses. And I say to people, right, if it is not important to you, right, you would find an excuse. But if it is important, you'll find a way. Now, if you have money issue, the very first thing to say to yourself is, what do I do? It's not about, my background, my job, I'm not earning enough. I mean, I have people that work with me and they keep telling me, Wale, if only I could earn $1 million more than what I'm earning. And I say to them, it really doesn't matter how
It
much you
doesn't
earn,
matter.
right? What matters is what you do with that little that you earn. The Bible says about you being faithful in little, right? If you're not faithful in little, you can't be faithful in much. So if you're earning 100,000 or 10,000 naira today and you cannot save out of that, then it doesn't mean that when you start earning 100,000 or 1 million, right, you start saving. Well, that's the attitude or the error, the mistake that a lot of people make, right? So people have to be very careful. So invest in financial literacy or try to understand the principles, that have to do with with money, being prudent with money. And the other thing I would say is that it's about saving. That is really what it is. And I say to people, I know that the Bible says, you must not be weary in well doing, right? And Christians, we're always very good at that. Somebody comes to you and say to you, Wale, can you lend me some money? And I say no. And the person goes, don't be weary in well doing. And I say to them that the same Bible says that wisdom is a principal thing, right? If I've saved my money, right, and you are coming in, because you have a need, okay, I have denied myself the ability to self gratification by saving. So why do
Yeah.
I give you the money that I've saved? You remember
True.
the parable of the women with the lamps? They
Yeah.
said, give us oil, and they said no, the virgins, right? And they said, you go and look for the oil, because if we share the oil, we both oil will both finish. So what I'll say to people is that people have to learn to say no to people at times. Now, when you say no to people, it doesn't mean that you're treating them badly. What it means is that you are saying yes to your own dreams. It means that you're
Mm.
not feeling guilty, right? You're not feeling any sense of resentment. Now, what most
Mm.
of us do is that when people come to us, to ask for money, because we don't want to be seen as mean. Now, even though we don't have the money, we will go and borrow to give to somebody that needs, right? And what you're saying is that you're saying yes to somebody else's dream while you're saying no to your
No
dream.
to your
If
own.
there is one thing that we need to learn to do in 2021, is that we must learn to say no. And that's the only
Hmm.
way, we can thrive when it comes to, money matters. It's
Wow.
extremely important.
Wow, wow. We must learn to say no. Well, my pastor says no is anointed, but you brought it out very strong. We want to always be good. We want to always be nice. We want to always be helpful. But you said something very critical. When you are borrowing money to help somebody else, you are saying yes to somebody else's dream and saying no to yourself. And the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, not more than
That's right.
yourself. So,
Mhm.
really, how are you placing it? So, on money matters, I hear you. Invest in financial literacy. As you were talking, I was taking my notes as well, and I'm going to watch this again. So, for everybody on this call, please take the notes, but again, watch it again and again. You have not heard everything until you hear it again. I hear you say, invest in financial literacy. What you save is what you save, and it's so true. What is not, you find an excuse for what is not important. If it's important, you will find a way. Now, somebody's already saying we need part two. Let's finish part one first. But one of the things I want to take you to in 2021. So I hear you look into that year with attitude of focus on what you want. I hear you on money matters. Now, as a professional, as a career person, what should I begin to think of doing in 2021?
Okay, I think the first thing is for, as a professional, right, is to define what are your professional objectives and what are your personal objectives. They're very important. Now, I know that a lot of people, confused, having a career with having a life. The two are not the same, right? And a lot of people try to make themselves as miserable just to be successful. But really, I say to people, it's not so much as how hardworking you are, right? Because people feel, well, I'm a professional. All I need to be is to be hardworking. What matters is working smart. You can work all 8 hours, 9 hours that you can, but if you're not working smart, you will not get anywhere. And let me also debunk some misconception that people always have, is that, oh, I spend a lot of time at work, I spend a lot of time doing this, I spend a lot of time doing that. But what I always say to people is not that amount of time that you spend that matters. It's the quality of the time. Now, because I work in the consulting environment, and the only thing that we sell is time. And if people spend time and I cannot bill for that time, then it is useless. So the point is always is the quality of the time that you spend, not the amount of time that matters. So as a professional, what you need to do is define what your professional objectives are, and then that will help you. And I always say to people also, we always try to chase after success and what have you. But at the end of the day, being successful will not make you happy, right? It's when you're happy that you become successful. And the reason is simple. When you love what you're doing, you will be successful. It's not the other way around. Okay? So what I want the kind of professional to do is to say, what exactly are my professional objectives in 2021? How do I also balance that, with my other personal objectives? Because when you're talking about life, right, life consists of so many things. Life consists of the career, your work. It consists of family. It consists of friends, love, fulfillment, joy. So how do you then balance all those? So the whole idea is to do them in such a way that we're able to reduce our stress, right? And also, do things that make us happy. In fact, one of my managers, who shared with us on Friday at our town hall meeting, she said she read a book, and the person said, life is about juggling two types of balls. Okay, there are glass balls and there are plastic balls. And so you can imagine if you are juggling plastic balls and you are juggling glass balls, your focus will be more on the glass ball, not on the plastic ball.
True.
Because if the glass ball fall,
it breaks.
Then to be shattered, you can't. Plastic is fine to bounce back. So you need to then understand as a professional, what are those glass balls that you need to juggle, that you need to ensure that they don't fall. So a professional needs to be able to balance that, but always focus on what are the things that will make you happy. Because you're playing a balance game. So don't focus too much on your career. Right? Like I said, a lot of people have made themselves miserable and they will never be successful. Because if you're not even happy, how can you be successful in the first instance?
Yeah.
Right? So that is very important. And I always say to people also, and I'll share this story if I have some meaning, that people, when you have kids and your children have only one livelihood, one childhood, right? And you have to make it hard for them. I remember when I was about some years ago, when my daughter was about 10 years old, right? And now she's 10, 20, right? I got home very early. I always get home, pretty late because of the kind of work I do. I got home very early. And then when she saw me, she said to me that, Daddy, oh, are you ill? And I said, no, I am not ill. And she said, and I was curious as to why she asked me why that question. And I said, what did you think I was ill? He said, because, oh, you're home early. But I said,
Wow.
sometimes I get home early. He said, yes, but you get home early when you're ill. But I said, but your mom also gets home late at times. He said, yes, my mom gets home late when she has meeting. All right. So as far as he was concerned, when I come home early, right, it's
There's
because I'm
something
ill.
wrong.
When my wife comes in late, she has meeting. And I said to myself, look, I need to change that mindset. I need to change that attitude, right? And that is why people have to make the childhood of the children count, right? And try
Hmm.
to balance how you spend your life with them. Don't focus too much on the work, because if you're not even happy, you won't be successful. Like I said, again, let me repeat what I said from the beginning. Being successful does not make you happy. It's happiness that makes you to be successful, because once you love what you're doing, you will definitely be successful. So, for a professional, define what matters to you and focus on that, and try and balance your glass balls with your plastic balls.
Wow, you have said so much. I thought I'll be able to take it over and over again, but it's tough. But one word that stood out for me is balance. It's one thing everybody must find balance. And you said something, being successful will not make you happy. And that's what we all need to know. There's nothing to chase after. Being successful will not make you happy, but being happy will make you successful. Wow, Wale, it's been an awesome time with you. Somebody's already saying we need part two of this edition. Maybe next week we might have to come back to this, but we'll talk about this behind the stage. But for today, I want to say a very big thank you. You indeed have added value to this program today. There's so many nuggets we are all taking away. I wish we would have time to come back and talk about goal setting, because as we enter 2021, we need to sit down and learn to set our goals, measure the goals, and score ourselves as we go on. But for today, thank you so much, Wale, for being here. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate
Can I
your time.
can I make a request for maybe for the
Yeah.
very first 10 people that join? I don't know if you can monitor them. I can
Okay.
send them 10 of my books, 10 free.
I will get that to you right away. I looked at it. I would know. I would try to, and I'll get the 10 names across to you. So for the
Okay.
first 10 that joined, you have a gift. Wow. Thank you so much. I truly do appreciate you. See you hopefully maybe next week. If not some other time, we will talk about goal setting together. God bless you. Thank you so
Amen.
much.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone. Good morning. Bye.
Good morning. Bye. Thank you, everybody that has been on the call. Thank you so much. I wish we could stay longer. I wish we could have more time, but time just flew. But listen to this again and again, and I'm sure it will bless you. Until next week, Monday, 7:45. You never can tell. Wale might just be back. Until then, I love you, and don't forget, together we win. God bless you.